Let me tell you something that most people get completely wrong. If you see someone driving a 1980s BMW 3 Series in today's world, your first instinct might be to feel sorry for them. Like maybe they can't afford something newer. But here's the truth. That person is probably the smartest one on the road. And I'm going to prove it to you. Because this isn't just about a car. This is about the psychology of a certain kind of human being. The kind of person who looks at the world differently, thinks differently, and makes decisions that most people simply don't have the depth to understand. Let's start with something that's disappearing fast: feel. When you sit inside an E30, turn the key, and press the accelerator, what you hear isn't just exhaust noise. It's a conversation. The engine is literally talking to you. Every vibration, every sound shift, every bit of resistance in the steering wheel, it's all information. Now compare that to a modern car. Sound deadening, electronic throttle, adaptive everything. All of that is designed to separate you from the experience of driving. The E30 driver understands this. He doesn't want to be filtered away from his machine. He wants a connection. And that's the real difference between digital and analog. In one, you're a user. In the other, you're a participant. Now look at this person from a psychological angle. There are two kinds of people in the world: those who show up to play and those who show up to win. Buying a new car today is straightforward. You walk into a dealership, sign some paperwork, and drive away. No knowledge required, no skill involved, just money. But finding a clean E30, understanding its history, evaluating its condition, talking to mechanics, hunting down the right parts, that's an intellectual game. And the person who does all of that doesn't just buy a car. He wins a challenge. That's a psychological victory that has nothing to do with money and everything to do with mindset. Then there's the personality side of this. There's a difference between something being old and something being proven, and very few people actually understand that gap. Something becomes old when it fails the test of time. But the E30 story is completely different. This car is still on the road after 4 decades. It didn't rust into irrelevance. It didn't disappear. It didn't get recalled into extinction. It kept going. And the person who drives it knows that every reliability report, every long-term ownership story, every mechanic's opinion points in the same direction. This car has been tested. It passed. And the person who chose it thinks exactly the same way about everything in life. He doesn't follow trends. He follows track records. Here's a truth that might sound harsh, but is completely accurate. Most modern cars are appliances. Exactly like a refrigerator. You use it, you forget it, you replace it when it breaks. No attachment, no identity, no character. Every brand is making the same car with a different badge on it. The E30 driver refuses to participate in that. For him, driving this car is a quiet intellectual rebellion. It's a statement that says, I'm not buying what you're selling me. I'm choosing what I actually want. And in a world where everyone is moving in the same direction, having the confidence to choose your own path isn't stubbornness. It's a rare kind of courage. Freedom is another piece of this puzzle. What does car ownership actually mean today? 5 years of monthly payments, warranty conditions, mandatory service schedules. You're not really owning a car, you're participating in a financial product. But the E30 owner bought his car completely. No bank has a stake in it. No company can tell him where to get it serviced. No lease agreement controls how many miles he drives. That freedom isn't just financial, it's psychological. When something is fully and completely yours, with no strings attached, a certain kind of confidence comes with it. This person isn't chained to installments. He's the full owner of his own decision. And that's a life philosophy, not just a purchasing habit. On the engineering side, these people believe in something that's genuinely rare today: permanence. Modern cars are built with a planned lifespan. Companies want you back in the showroom in 7 or 8 years. Everything is designed around that cycle. Lightweight plastics, proprietary software, parts that are only available through dealers. The E30 is the opposite of all that. Real steel, mechanical simplicity, a suspension geometry that engineers still respect today. The person who drives it thinks like an engineer. He looks at material quality, he understands structural integrity, and he sees a machine that deserves to be treated like a piece of art. For him, a car isn't just transportation. It's proof that craftsmanship was once taken seriously. Marketing doesn't work on these people. Every year, a new model arrives with the same promises: revolutionary, game-changing, best in class. And most people believe it. But the E30 driver already figured out the pattern. New cars aren't made because the old ones weren't perfect. They're made because companies need revenue. There's a replacement cycle running, and it has nothing to do with actual improvement. Once you see that clearly, no advertisement lands on you. And this immunity doesn't stay limited to cars. It spreads into every area of life. These people make more deliberate decisions, spend more carefully, and live with a lot more intention than the average person. There's also something deeper going on, a sense of guardianship. People who drive the E30 don't see themselves as just drivers. They see themselves as caretakers of something that matters. This car existed before them. Someone drove it, maintained it, passed it forward. And now it's in their hands. A few years from now, it'll move on to someone else, hopefully in the same condition or better. That's a legacy mindset, a sense of responsibility that modern car culture has completely lost. When you're the steward of something rather than just the owner, you treat it differently. You think more carefully, you respect it more, you take it more seriously. That's not just about a car, that's character. Neuroscience actually backs all of this up. Research consistently shows that repetitive, physical, predictable tasks, like working a manual gearbox, feeling unassisted steering, reading engine sound to judge your next gear, they put the brain into a meditative state. Modern cars have automated all of that away. Everything is assisted, everything is automatic. Your brain is barely involved in the act of driving. That convenience is actually mental disconnection. But in an E30, driving is an active process. You're present, you're engaged, you're focused on exactly what's happening right now. That's not stress, that's therapy. Every drive is a session of genuine mental peace without a single app involved. And if you build a personality profile of this person, one thing becomes very clear: he's not showing off. He's quietly confident. The person who buys expensive things purely for attention is usually empty on the inside and filling up from the outside. But the E30 driver is already full. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need approval. He doesn't need anyone to notice. His self-respect comes from his taste, not his price tag. And when he walks into a room, he doesn't demand attention. But the people who actually understand quality always notice him. This car is his soul symbol, not a status symbol. Anyone can buy status on a payment plan. But the person who deliberately chooses a 40-year-old machine, understands it, maintains it, and drives it with pride, that person draws his confidence from within. The car doesn't define his identity from the outside. It confirms who he already is on the inside. That's autonomous self-regard, a kind of self-respect that doesn't depend on what's parked in the neighbor's driveway. So here's the final truth. These people haven't been left behind. The world is sprinting in one direction: newer, faster, shinier, more connected, more complex. But these people have already arrived at the place the world is desperately trying to reach: simplicity, authenticity, and a real relationship with the things they own. Everyone else is running the race. These people are already at the finish line. The person driving a 1980s BMW 3 Series isn't scared of the future and isn't stuck in the past. He's simply someone who looked at all the options, understood all the noise, and made his own call. And that, in today's world, is the rarest thing of all.